Hey crypto enthusiasts, welcome back to the Altcoin News Podcast. For each and every one of you tuning in, your support is our motivation to keep featuring amazing and potentially disruptive projects. So be sure to like and subscribe if you find this video useful. This podcast series is meant to enlighten you with insider knowledge and expert opinion from professionals and blockchain pioneers. Before we get in, I do have to point out our disclaimer. All information presented in this series is meant for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence if you plan on moving your capital into any of the projects that we cover. Your money shouldn't be dictated by anyone ever. With that out of the way, please enjoy our podcast. In today's episode, our featured project is the Shiden Asta multi-chain dApp hubs developed by Stake Technologies, which is built for the Kusama Polkadot network, respectively. In short, the Asta Shiden network is designed to fill in the gap of the Polkadot and Kusama network by adding a smart contract layer to provide a framework in which developers can launch their NFT, DeFi, or any dApp projects with multi-chain functionalities from day one. To further elaborate on the concept, we brought on the very founder of Stake Technology to help us understand what this means for the blockchain community and Web 3.0 to a large extent. Joining us today is Sota Watanabe, the CEO and founder of Asta Shiden Network. Without further ado, let's jump in. Hey Sota, thanks for coming in.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much, Peter, for having me today.
Cool. Just to kick this off, can you tell us a bit about your journey into the world of blockchain? How did it all begin?
Yeah, of course. I joined the blockchain space 5 years ago. And at that time, obviously, there was no Polkadot mainnet. There was no Kusama mainnet. So there are a lot of the things happening in this space. So the reason why I joined the blockchain space is the blockchain and Web 3.0 is the tools, the very strong tools to distribute power to the people instead of the institution and instead of the nations. So that's why I joined this space, and I started work at blockchain startup in San Francisco, and I came back to Japan and I became a blockchain researcher at the University of Tokyo. And after that, I started my own company, and now I'm also one of the director of Japanese Blockchain Association, and also one of the member of Trusted Web Council. So by the government. So Trusted Web is sort of Web3 in Japan.
That is absolutely amazing. For someone your age, I believe most would agree that that is an impressive background. So tell us about what kind of problem is Asta Shiden Network attempting to solve? What is the significance of these solutions and how do you think they will impact the future?
Awesome. So first of all, blockchain are not connected. Like Bitcoin is differently from Ethereum, and Ethereum is not connected to Polkadot, right? So we would like to connect layer 1 blockchains in the future because network is independent right now. So let's say internet was not connected. So internet was intranet, which is like an independent network, and now it's connected. That's why we can talk each other right now. So blockchain will be connected in the very future, like 2 or 3 years. That's why we are laser focusing on the connecting blockchain. That's why we are in the Polkadot ecosystem. And another biggest problem we have is scalability. So currently, I think less than 1% of the people are using blockchain and crypto, but blockchain is almost full, right? And we are going to have another 99% of the people in coming decades. So scalability matters. That's why we are focusing on layer 2 and smart contract hub. And last one is the blockchain is all about networking effect. But generally speaking, there are few or no financial incentives for early developers. So if you build something on the top of Ethereum, you cannot make Ethereum token, right? You have to pay the gas, but developer is definitely the center of the community. So the solution is we are going to provide basic income for developers from block rewards based on the performance and based on the popularity. And Asta and Shiden network is the multi-virtual machine smart contract hub, which supports Ethereum virtual machine, WebAssembly, and layer 2 solutions such as rollups. So in coming months, we are going to really focus on becoming a Polkadot parachain and also supporting layer 1 bridges like Ethereum bridge, Cosmos bridge, Avalanche bridge, Solana bridge, and so on.
For some of our curious investors who aren't familiar with the relationships between Polkadot and Kusama, they may be confused by the similarities between Asta and Shiden as well. Is Shiden the testing ground for dApps before launching on Asta? Can you further elaborate on the differences?
Exactly. A lot of the people are confusing about relationship between Kusama and Polkadot and Asta and Shiden. So Polkadot is the biggest network made by Web3 Foundation. And Kusama is also a network made by Web3 Foundation. But Kusama is 10 times smaller than Polkadot. The reason why we have a Kusama and Polkadot in the same ecosystem is that Polkadot is the one of the most complicated blockchain network. So the Web3 Foundation wanted to test it out in small ecosystem. That's why they made Kusama network. But Kusama and Polkadot is exactly the same functionality network in terms of the capability and technical perspective. So yeah, Kusama is faster. I mean, in terms of the implementation, yeah, that's why Kusama did a auction, the Kusama parachain auction, and Polkadot is just an independent chain right now. And we have two network. So Asta is for Polkadot, and Shiden is for Kusama. And Kusama had a Kusama parachain auction 2 months ago, and happening the second batch right now. And we became one of the first Kusama parachain by using Shiden. And Asta is going to be a Polkadot parachain in coming months. So I'm really excited.
Excellent. Congratulations on winning one of the first parachain slot auctions on Kusama Network. I imagine it must have had a tremendous impact on your brand exposure and user growth. Can you share with us some of the progress and updates your team has made to the Shiden network since the announcement? And what's on your to-do list towards the end of the year?
Yeah, one of the things I'm very proud of is that we launched Shiden with 10,000 people. So Shiden is one of the most fairest launch project in the blockchain ecosystem. And a lot of the people are coming to our ecosystem. A lot of the people have our token. A lot of the people would like to make smart contract or dApps on the top of Shiden and infrastructure as well. So I'm very glad to see community expansion right now. And we have already migrated from POA network, Proof of Authority network, to Proof of Stake. And we are going to support Ethereum virtual machine in coming days, so that everyone can deploy Solidity smart contract, and WebAssembly will be supported in a month. So they can also deploy WebAssembly based smart contract. And dApp staking is also supported. This is like a basic income scheme. So by developing dApps, they can earn Shiden token, they can earn Asta token. So this is like a game changer.
That's very interesting. So what will be the most common use case for Asta Shiden network? And what are some likely dApps that will be implemented on the networks? And what kind of dApps would your team like to see to enrich the overall ecosystem?
Yeah, this is a very good question. I think in coming months, we're going to focus on DeFi and NFT, as well as infrastructure such as Oracle, index servicing, API, and so on. So yeah, in terms of DeFi, Asta Shiden network is like multi-chain layer 1 blockchain. So we can connect our Shiden network to Kusama, and we can import Bitcoin like value, or we are going to make Ethereum bridge, so that our DeFi services on the top of Shiden can use a lot of multiple assets on our layer 1. And in terms of NFT, we have a great partnership with like a Japanese top NFT company and so on. So one of the advantages of being Japanese is definitely the content IP. So we would like to invite a lot of Japanese contents on the top of our blockchain as well. But blockchain is international, so we are really happy to have a lot of IP on the top of Shiden. And NFT and DeFi are definitely one of the most promising use case on our blockchain.
I mean, the boom of blockchain pretty much started in Japan back in 2011, right? So can you tell us about the status quo of the Japanese blockchain community? And what are some of the challenges being faced right now over there?
Yeah, this is a good question. First of all, Japanese people have a language barrier. It's same to like a Chinese, I think. Everything is published from English, so learning a lot of the new things in English is sometimes tough. So we are also publishing a lot of the contents in Japanese because this is my native language. By the way, our team is very decentralized, so we have 13 members right now, but Japanese is 2 or 3. So a lot of the people in Korea, China, EU, and the US. So our team is decentralized, but we actually started from Japan. So it's easier for us to talk with a lot of exchanges because the Japanese regulation is one of the most toughest all over the world. But there are a lot of the crypto holder in Japan and a lot of asset and money. So we would like to bring this kind of opportunity to Shiden and Asta. And also there are very few projects in Japan which is doing global business. So we are the first company, first project, which is funded by Binance, like Fembushi, Huobi, and OKX, and so on. So we are recognized one of the most international project and leading the Japanese industry.
Sounds like what your team is trying to achieve has a lot of underlying fire and potential. Otherwise, you wouldn't have so many backers, right? So regarding plans for the DAO development or Decentralized Autonomous Organization of Asta Shiden Network, can you shed some light on the details? In an ideal scenario, which contributors will be involved in governance?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So I think we had a lot of blockchain trend. DeFi was a big trend, NFT is big trend right now, but next thing is going to be DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. So we are 100% committing to make Decentralized Autonomous Organization in 2 years. So which means, so Asta and Shiden is developed by Stake Technologies right now, which is a company, but we are going to cross company itself, just like MakerDAO. And the great thing is that Facebook is not sustainable without Facebook company, and Google is not sustainable without Google, right? Amazon is not sustainable without Amazon. But our blockchain, Asta and Shiden, is sustainable without Stake Technologies. I think this is very interesting challenge we have in 21st century. And this is the new opportunity and new challenge which blockchain can do. So we would like to make decentralized autonomous organization. And regarding the decentralized autonomous organization, decentralization matters most. So I'm proud that a lot of people has our token and they contribute our network. And the incoming months we are going to make on-chain governance so that token holder can join our voting process governance.
So decentralization is like a common goal of the entire blockchain community, correct? So in your opinion, what is the most challenging part of getting there?
Decentralization is tough because a lot of the people just care about token price, but a lot of the core community care about long-term benefit rather than the short-term benefit. So the question is how to make a proper governance for long-term sustainability. But token holder matters. So we cannot ignore the people who are care about token price. So the important thing is the balance and the governance of the decision making. We are still running it because there is no best practice in this market. But the good thing is we can do it and we can learn and we can improve on the blockchain. So that the important thing is ship the product very fast. And this is what we are doing right now.
Can you tell us more about Asta Shiden's dApp staking mechanism? How does it incentivize participators and developers?
Yeah, actually, the dApp staking is the killer contents which Asta and Shiden only has in a Polkadot ecosystem, maybe even blockchain and entire ecosystem. So this is like a game changer and can be next big things like liquidity mining or something like that. So we have a layer 1 blockchain, right? And our valuation is around 400 million. This is an example. So inflation rate is 10%. So $40 million was Shiden token will be issued per year. And 50% of 40 million, 20 million goes to validator. And 20 million goes to developer based on the performance. So if you make, let's say, very good dApps project, like Uniswap, and if you can get 10% of the market share, you can get 10% of 20 million, which means $2 million was Shiden token per year. And this is like a protocol revenue for your project. But on the other hand, if you are building something on the top of Ethereum, Uniswap does not get even 1 penny from Ethereum blockchain, right? And they are paying a lot of the gas fee. Their token have a value, so which is good, but they cannot get a token from Ethereum blockchain because Ethereum blockchain does not support this scheme. Yeah, but Shiden has this scheme. So by making smart contract, by making infrastructure, they can get a lot of the token. So we fully incentivize developers to deploy smart contract or making infrastructure on the top of Shiden and Asta.
What should your investor expect in the roadmap for the coming years?
Oh, coming years. Tough question. In coming months, we're gonna fully implement smart contract feature, EVM, WebAssembly, and dApps staking, so fully functional. And in coming years, we are going to make on-chain governance and DAO. So stake technologies will be closed, and I'm going to be involved in this ecosystem as a contributor, one of the contributor. And I hope we can be one of the biggest network in a Polkadot and also Web3 entire ecosystem. So yeah, in coming years, blockchain will be connected, and we're gonna be a smart contract hub that connect a lot of layer 1 blockchain. I think this is the future.
And to conclude our podcast, do you have anything that you wish to express to Asta Shiden supporters and contributors?
Yeah, I think we are living in the world where there are a lot of the opportunity, especially in the blockchain ecosystem. And some people just care about price of the token, but we are making much bigger things than price. And Web3 is the future. So yeah, it would be great if we could make Web3 and one of the most fundamental protocol for realizing Web3 with our token holder and our ecosystem.
Thank you, Sota, for doing this. I hope to talk to you again soon in the future.
Thank you, Peter, for having me.
Be sure to check out the links in the description below to follow Sota and the Asta Shiden Network on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. On a side note, the Shiden Network token SDN has recently completed its startup sale on Gate.io, raising over 25 million USDT. If you're interested, the link is also down below. If you like this podcast, remember to smash that like button, and please leave your comment to let us know which project is worth investigating. We do read your comments, you know. That's all for today's podcast. See you next time.